we're going to tie you up this week is the Pink Mayfly. Now it's got some very unusual colors to it, but it looks very lifelike on the water, and that's what's important. Make sure you have these materials ready before you tie. We're going to tie the fly on a size 14 dry. We'll use some 8/0 pink thread to tie with, a dun hackle fibers for the tail, some shrimp pink dubbing for the body, dry dun hackle for the hackle, some orange foam for the post, and some silver fine wire for the ribbing. To start the fly off, I've tied on my pink thread, and I've cut my orange foam just so that the thickness is equal to the depth. So essentially it's a little square. Just have a little square post here. I'm going to tie it in, and make sure you tie it back about, a good quarter inch past the hook eye, and create a post. We're going to use this to parachute our hackle on a little later. Now that I have my wing post tied in, I've taken a hackle, and one of the bigger hackles off the back, and I've stripped off about eight of the barbs off the hackle, and I've taken them here to the back of the hook. I want the tail to be, again, about the length of the hook, and then we're just going to tie it in to form the tail. I've taken some silver wire, and we're going to tie this off the back of the hook, and we'll use this just to rib the body up after we get it tied in. After the rib's tied in, we'll take our pink shrimp dubbing, and I'm just going to dub it onto the line, onto our thread, and we want to, again, keep it very thin. Just dub a little bit on, and then we're going to wrap it forward, and where you want to wrap it is all the way up to the eyelet and then back to the post where we're going to tie our hackle in. And don't worry about going over it with the thread. That's fine. You want to pack that down a little bit. I've finished the thread off right at the wing post. Now what we'll do is take our silver wire we had off the back of the hook, and I'm going to take about 3 to 4 turns and only go up to the post. Don't go to the head of the fly, just go up to the post and tie off right at the rear of the post. After we have the ribbing brought up to the wing post, we're going to tie in a small hackle, and again, keep it small. I'm going to tie it in right behind the post and then work our thread forward to the front of the post and up to the eyelet where we're going to tie it off. Cut off your excess, and then we're going to take a few wraps and wrap our hackle in, parachute style. To finish the fly off, I'm going to actually pull back my hackle slightly on the front of the hook and just whip finish off right behind the eye, just so you have a nice pink head on the fly. Cut off your thread, and then what we're going to do is trim the post, and we want the post again to be just short. Again, it's personal preference. It all depends on the height and how visual you want to see the fly, but I normally cut it to about 1/4 inch long. So that's it, the finished Pink Mayfly. As I mentioned in the intro, those colors are very important. Make sure you have that pink shrimp color for the body. And one thing to remember when you're tying mayflies, keep the tails long, keep them as long as your hook, and keep the bodies thin.